Okay, one more. That's what I'm promising you. One more. Okay. Buds. They're an underdeveloped shoot or flower. They're located at the terminal. They're mostly meristem cells. In perennials, they can be protected by a modified leaf scale. They can be vegetative, or a flower, or mixed. They're prominent in most deciduous plants when leaves are absent. So we can look for those in the winter when all the leaves fall off. Flowers, sexual reproduction. Okay, I'm going to want you to watch this video. You can do it on your own time. It should look like this. It's not being very loud. Okay,
Flowering
I
plants
will
undergo a unique.
that is sexual reproduction, and we will talk about it. I will put a link there. It's essentially the fertilization, the fruit, the seed, and it varies in shape. There are two types of flowers, complete and incomplete. Complete means the boy parts and the girl parts and all the parts are there. So it can self-fertilize. If it can't find anyone else to fertilize, it can occasionally fertilize itself. So the 4 parts to make you complete. If you want to be complete as a flower, what do you need to be complete? You need sepals. Sepals are basically this part. It like holds up the flower, if you want to think of it like that. You need petals. You kind of had to see that coming with the petals, right? You need a stamen, which is all of this, the filament, the anthers, the male part, essentially. And you need the carpel, which is, let me move over here, which is the stigma, style, and ovary. So you need all of this, which is considered the carpel. So those are the 4 things you need. The stigma, style, and ovary is considered stigma, style, ovary is all considered one part. That is basically the female part. This, the filament, and anther are considered one part. The sepal and the petal. Those are the 4 parts. Here is a complete flower. You need the sepal holding up the petals. Sepal, petal, carpel, which is this whole female part right here, and stamens, which is the whole male parts right here. Incomplete, it lacks one of those things. Doesn't matter which one, it's incomplete. If it doesn't have a sepal, if it doesn't have petals, if it doesn't have carpels, if it doesn't have stamens, it is an incomplete flower. Perfect flowers. They have both stamens and pistils. Imperfect flowers lack stamens or pistils. So again, this is just telling you if it can self-fertilize or if it cannot, if there's a separate male and female flower. Monoecious, basically flowers on the same plant. Dioecious, flowers on separate plants, like holly, asparagus, ginkgo. There's like a male ginkgo and a female ginkgo, or a stinky ginkgo, which is the female ginkgo. You can have that in your yard. So there's separate male and female plants. Monoecious, basically they have everything on the plant and they can self-fertilize. Whether it has one stalk or multiple stalks, all the types of, look at all these, all the types of inflorescence. It's a lot of different kinds of flowers. After pollination and fertilization, so the pollen lands on the stigma, it grows through the style, it fertilizes the egg, it develops a fruit. The periocarp, which is the wall, may develop into many fruit structures, like an orange peel, a pea pod, or peach flesh. There can be simple and aggregate types of fruit. Simple, a single ovary from one flower. Fleshy, dry fleshy, or just dry fruit. Fleshy, some types of fleshy fruits would be berries. Tomato is a berry. It's a fruit. It's not a vegetable, sorry. Citrus is a herispertum. Pepo is a cucumber or squash. Dry fleshy would be peaches, cherries, and olives because they have a pit. And palms are apples and pears. Basically, this is just telling you, really fruits are just tricking. Fruits are tricking you so you will eat their fruit and poop out or spit out their seed far away from the mother plant. So your basic berry with your tomato, they just want you to spit out the seed, maybe move it a little bit. Your citrus, also, you're probably going to eat that. Maybe you're going to poop it out, but you're probably going to spit it out or poop it out. Cucumber and squash, all of these, you're either going to spit it out or poop it out, right? But you're not going to like never eat it because it's like a strawberry, right? You're going to eat that. Dry, fleshy parts of the fruit become hard. You're not going to eat the drupes. right? You're not designed to eat that and poop it out. No. These things, cherry pits, peach pits, olive pits, they're meant to be spit out. Versus your pome, they're really honestly meant to be, they can be eaten or not. Some fruits have to be eaten and digested, partially digested and then pooped out in order to germinate. You're welcome for that delightful information. I hope you're not eating while watching this video. Simple dry fruit would be basically, I don't know why I put C textbook for more details. Basically, these are just dry fruits. So here is your grapes and peppers, here's your citrus, and here's the things that you are definitely going to spit out. So the simple ones basically are going to be beans, poppy seed, basically fruit doesn't split. These are going to be strawberries, grains, and maples. Aggregates are things like strawberry is actually an aggregate fruit, blackberry. They have multiple ovaries on a single flower, so they have a bunch of female parts on the same flower. Figs, pineapples, and mulberries are multiple fruits. They have individual ovaries fused together on a single structure, so that's what a pineapple is. All of those little structures are actually seedless berries, so those are a bunch of ovaries that you're eating when you eat a pineapple. Seeds are mature ovules. They contain 3 parts. Like if you want to go back up to the beginning to watch the first video, you've got an embryo, a storage unit, and the seed coat, and then that is what makes your seed. You put water in it, and that starts the whole process over. The embryo basically is what the plantlet is going to be fertilized. The plantlet is already formed in there from fertilization, and it's going to just make the plant. The radicle is going to go down and potentially make the root, and your cotyledons are going to be your first little leaves that come out or stay on the ground, and your cotyledons are going to be full of nutrients to feed your baby plant. Your food storage tissue is going to be your endosperm, your cotyledons, and your periosperm. Your seed coat is tough. It's relatively impervious to water. It has to be sitting in water for a while, like 24 hours, in order to actually finally germinate. The hilum is where the seed's separated from the stalk, and the raphe is the ridge of the seed. It contains 3 basic parts: the embryo, the storage tissue, and the seed coat. And yes, I made it in one more video. I promised you one more video, and we made it. So there will be a quiz online. Good luck.